Hey guys, it's Joel from Joel Reviews here to review God of War. So here we go. Now, I know, I'm the last reviewer to do this after all the outlets have done this. They had a week in advance, guys. Sorry, I don't get the early stuff yet, but maybe one day I will. But this is great because God of War is amazing. I had to take some time. I had to play through it. I had to play every single part of the game before I came to you guys. So here we go. How was it? Well, the camera shifts. So instead of being above your guy and it's really a brawler like back in the day, now it's more of Last of Us plus Uncharted plus God of War smushed into this most amazing game. It is beautiful. You just look at the vistas when you first start. Like, when you click start, you're already in this painted background where you see Kratos, and he's about ready to chop down a tree from the E3 trailers. And when you hit start, it just pans over to Kratos, and instead of having monologue or anything like that, it just starts. No loading screens, no nothing, just starts. That is so cool. There's been only a few games that have done this, and then on top of that, this is so impactful because it just immediately puts you into the game and then says, here, time to play. From there, you learn about Kratos' past. It takes a while, but you finally understand that at the end of God of War 3, spoilers, Kratos kills Zeus. And at the end of God of War 3, Kratos takes that same sword that he killed Zeus with and stabs himself. Which, in theory, makes you think he killed himself. But you do see blood stains skirted off of a cliff at the very end of God of War 3. So either there was supposed to be a continuation from that, or that's how it was supposed to end. Who knows? But through that timeline, Kratos eventually gets to a spot where he's in Norse mythology and now has to take on the gods of Norse mythology. And here's where this game starts many, many years later. This is not your typical chain, get over here and hack and slash kind of God of War style. It's nothing like that anymore. This Kratos is old and battered, so the gameplay has slowed down quite a bit compared to what you're used to. It's like if you took Uncharted, Horizon Zero Dawn, Last of Us, and God of War and smushed all four IPs together and said, here, make the greatest game of all time. Boom. Now, I'm not saying this is the greatest game of all time, but it is one of the greatest games I've played, and especially this generation. I thought Zelda was the pinnacle of gaming. Mario was okay. It wasn't perfect, but then this game comes along and just says, hello, I came out of nowhere. You did not expect this. So there. When we look at the visuals, this is beyond what the PlayStation 4 can actually do. You feel some frame drops from time to time. It's not bad. It's 1 or 2 frames, and you're not really going to notice it unless you're a frame buff. If you are, you will notice it. But this is the most gorgeous game ever. Horizon Zero Dawn. That was the pinnacle of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Unfortunately, Xbox hasn't really came out with a game that says Xbox One X looks a billion times better than PS4 Pro. Hasn't happened. But this game comes out and says, hey Xbox, time to compete. We're going to put the graphics on another level. Kratos, you see his scars, you see his hair, you see little blood stains from time to time. You see all of this, and like when his blood stains heal because he is the God of War, you see it mending together piece by piece, and it's awesome. There's no pixels that you really see. I mean, this game is crystal clear, and especially if you have a PS4 Pro, it looks fantastic. It's so gorgeous. The land vistas across. I mean, you look at your son, and you go, whoa, he looks so lifelike. The NPCs, yes, a lot of them are copy and paste over and over again, just like the original God of Wars. But hey, it looks amazing. It really does. Especially since each character's model looks so lifelike, so realistic. Nothing we've seen this generation. It just looks great. And the lighting effects comes down, from Horizon Zero Dawn or the Tomb Raider games, you have those particles everywhere. This game takes it to a whole new level. And it's great. And it is the best graphics we've seen this generation. Sound, again, is amazing. The guy that plays Kratos in the original games came back to reprise his role. He sounds old and disgruntled, like Kratos would. His son is young, but is a teenager. And he's not annoying, like most game characters of that age group there. They're often very annoying, and it's often you have to take care of them. This game, he takes care of himself. It's great. All the other casting characters are great. There's this one dwarf that you meet on later on who's hysterical. You're going to love him. This game has a story that you feel inside, that you feel everything Kratos is going through, his son is going through, and the people are going through. You meet characters in this game, and you care about their backstory. You want to know more, and that's amazing. This game ends, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it's also a great ending. Now the gameplay. As I said, the camera pans around, and it goes behind your character like a third-person shooter, a.k.a. Uncharted, a.k.a. Last of Us, a.k.a. Horizon Zero Dawn. This is the new staple of Sony, and it works brilliantly for this game. As I've already stated, Kratos is old and disgruntled, and the fighting, also established in this game, makes it feel raw. Like Kratos is taking sides and boom! And you can feel the power of each hit against each character. It's great. You also feel every single step he takes, because now it's do instead of running around, zipping around like he used to. It's boom, boom, and he's running boom, boom, boom. It's not fast. He's old. You can feel it. He's still really strong, but little things that would not have hurt him in the original God of War trilogy or God of War games now bother him, now hurt him. It's great. It slowed down the combat. Instead of having 20, 30, 40, 50 people on screen, you only have 3 to about 6, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But each one, you have to fight and parry and fight and parry and fight and parry instead of fight, whipping around, going fast. You've slowed down, and it's great. It makes the game more believable. And that's the whole thing, the whole point of this game. It feels more believable, it feels more lifelike, and Kratos feels real. This game is amazing. Go out and buy it. This is a 10 out of 10. This is a game you will not regret buying, and it is one of the best games of this generation. It is going to get Game of the Year, and it is also going to be hard to beat by Microsoft. Microsoft is in a rut. They said they're going to build up this library of games for the new Xbox One X and the Xbox community. They have a golden nugget that they're fighting against now. Horizon Zero Dawn was great. The Uncharted series is great. But this is a shiny new nugget on their new PlayStation 4 Pro that shows off how great video games can and will look in the future. And yet Microsoft is sitting on a pile of dung saying, we don't have anything. Microsoft, your next games need to be these golden nuggets, or nobody's going to buy your platform. I'm sorry to say it. God of War is amazing. It's amazing. Now everybody, go out and buy it. See you next time.